Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial we'll be learning how to make a jean trouser with a back pocket, front pocket, waistband and belt holder. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, stay to the end of the video. I'll be using this jean fabric. I'll be using 2 yards of this jean fabric. 2 yards is just enough for from size 8 to like size 12. So anything above size 12, you need to get more than 2 yards of jean fabric. So it's a bit stretchy. And you can use any color of your choice. The first thing you need to do is to fold your fabric in two and get the full length of your jean. Remember to minus 2 inches from the starting point. That's 2 inches for your waistband, and you can also use 1.5 inches for your waistband depending on how wide you like your waistband. So I'll go ahead to mark 9 inches for my hip length and 11.5 inches for my crotch length, and I'll also go ahead to mark 18 inches. That's my knee length measurement, and I'll just go ahead to trace all this out. Ensure your fabric is long enough for your full length before you start taking your measurement. So my fabric is, I've ensured that it's long enough for my full trouser length. So I'll just go ahead to trace out my hip length, crotch length and my knee length measurements. That's all the measurements we'll be needing for now. So after doing that, you go ahead to mark out your hip circumference divided by 4. So you divide your hip circumference by 4 and just mark it out on both your crotch length measurement and your hip length measurement. So do the same thing on your waistline just to get a straight line. So I will just go ahead to mark my hip circumference divided by 4, my waist measurements or my starting point, just to make a straight line. So after doing that, then I will go ahead to divide to get my crotch curve measurement. That is your hip circumference divided by 4. Then when you get your answer, then you divide that by 4 again, and that is your crotch curve measurement. So I marked 2.5 and just go ahead to curve it like this. So after curving it from your crotch, your waist circumference measurement, go ahead to measure your hip circumference measurements, your waist circumference measurement, your waist divided by 4. Go ahead to mark that on your waist measurement and also add 1 inches for your sewing allowance. This trouser won't be using a dart, so you don't need to add that allowance. You just need to add your sewing allowance. So now this is it. Just go ahead to curve it with your curve ruler like this, and flip your curve ruler the other way and connect it down to your knee measurement, just like this. So after doing that, the next thing to do is to go ahead to make a straight line, because it's a straight pant. It's not a penciled and it's not like a palazzo kind of trouser. It's a straight trouser. So we just go ahead to roll it straight without any measurement. Just roll it straight down to your ankle measurement. So you go ahead to do the same thing for the crotch. That's the inseam for the crotch side. Just mark a straight line. Ensure your ruler is straight. So this is just me confirming that the measurement and the allowance I have left on my crotch is the same thing that is on other part of my fabric. So that's my full length, and also remember to add 2 inches allowance to the full length. That serves as your hemming allowance. so you can use that to turn it or to fold it in, whichever way you call it. So always ensure you add 2 inches allowance to your full length. So now I will just go ahead to cut this out. So after cutting it out, we'll go ahead to draft out our back piece of this trouser. And in order to do that, we'll go ahead to fold our fabric in two as well to get the both side of our fabric. So here I had folded my fabric in two and placed the front piece of the trouser on it, ensuring that I have space at the upper side, the left side, and at the right side. So after placing it on it, what you do next is to subtract 2 inches, just like you see me do, 2 inches away, and just start taking the measurement of the back piece. Then that 2 inches, you add it to the hip side of the back piece, and you go up by 1.5 inches, just like this. You go up by 1.5 inches. So the next thing you want to do is to connect that 1.5 inches to the hip side of your back trouser, that is the waist side of your back trouser. And in order to do that, you must ensure that the front hip side and waist side and the outer waist side and the back outer waist side are on the same level. Then you go ahead to connect that 1.5 inches. Go ahead to connect it to the waist side, the outer waist side of your back trouser, just like this. Place your ruler like so and just connect it. So after connecting it, the next thing to do is to add your allowances. So by the hip side, you add 2 inches allowance by the hip side of the back and curve it like this. Then towards the knee side, you add 1.5 inches, just like you see me do, 1.5 inches, and go ahead to connect it to that 2 inches that you added to the hip side. So 2 inches to the hip side, 1.5 to the knee, and 1 inches to the ankle side. So connect it like so, and now go ahead to roll straight down. So just make sure you curve out any sharp edge that you see, because our body does not have any sharp edge. So at the ankle side, I will go ahead to add 1 inches to the ankle side. As you can see, I had pinned down my fabric because I don't want it to move. So go ahead to add 1 inches just like this, and now connect it all the way to the knee side. Yeah, so just do it this way and just connect it like so. Then for the crotch side, you go ahead to add 2 inches, just like you see me do, 2 inches to the front crotch length, or the front crotch curve rather. So you add 2 inches to it like this, and now connect it down. So I made it very curvy, but it shouldn't be this curvy. You should just connect it like a triangle, just make a straight line, don't make a curved line. So I eventually went ahead to erase this and just make a triangle, straight line, not a curved line. Don't make a straight line. So my camera didn't capture that, so I'm sorry about that. Don't make a curved line, make a straight line rather. So I'll just go ahead to trace out the curve for the back like this, and this is what it looks like. The front and the back is ready. So for the back inside seam, I'll just connect it straight. So I went ahead to cut out my front piece pockets because of the length of the video, I can't show you how I cut that, but in the next video I'll be showing you how I did that. So now I'll just go ahead to top stitch the pocket side, exactly where I'll be putting my hand. I'll top stitch that and ensure that I fold other edges, since I'll be sewing on it. I'll be sewing around on my pocket on the outside, not on the inside, so it needs to be very neat. So I went ahead to iron already and top stitch where I'll be putting my hands, just like you see. So I'll just place it on it, and the length and the measurement of the pockets is 9 by 9, like 9 inches long and 9 inches wide. That's the exact measurement for the hip length. So I've finished top stitching on the pockets, just like you see, and this is what it looks like. So now I'll go ahead to fix our zipper. So the first thing you want to do is to get 2 pieces of the zipper. You can easily get this zipper flyer from the curve of your fabric and just reduce the length or the width of the flyer. So I have 2 pieces of this flyer, and this is what I'm going to do. For the first piece, I'll flip it up like this and sew. Flip it up and sew like this, and after sewing, make sure you top stitch on it. So after top stitching, I open it up and I'll place my zip the wrong side, just like this, and I'll go ahead and sew on this outer side of the edge. So just do it exactly like this and you'll get a beautiful and perfect result. So I'll go ahead and sew on this side that I'm pointing at now, and after sewing on it, we'll turn it up to see the next thing. So after sewing, see, after sewing, you turn it up and this is what it looks like. So you put the other side of the flap, you put your right side facing under the zip and the wrong side facing of your trouser, wrong side facing you of your trouser, you put it on. So the zip is in between the flap and your trouser. So you sandwich the zip into the second piece of your flap and the crotch of your trouser. So now I'll just go ahead to pin this down and sew it down as well. So I'll pin it down and sew. Ensure you are sewing at least, let's say, 2 centimeter away from the zip. This is a metallic zip, you don't want to damage your needle, so it's safe to sew 2 centimeter away from your zip teeth. So now I'll just go ahead to mark out where I want to sew, because the zip has been sandwiched and I can't really see. So just use your hand to trace out where you want to sew and mark it out to be on the safer side and also to be faster. So now that's what I will go ahead to sew it now. So after sewing, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Yeah, so this is how this flyer is going to appear after everything. So now the next thing we want to do is to sew the crotch curve of the front trouser. So you just want to align everything and arrange both sides of your front together. So I've gone ahead to sew, and this is what it looks like. See, it's very neat and very nice, rhyming with the flyer we had fixed already. So the next thing we want to do is to go ahead to make a curve, a flap curve by the zip side. So what I'm doing now is just pinning down the back side. And now this is a mistake that can be easily made. Ensure that you open up your flap from the back. Ensure your zip is not covered from the back, because if you mistakenly sew it, then you'll be able to zip down your trouser. So open it from the back and pin it down. So I pinned this down so I can easily sew out the curve. So I'll just use my chalk to trace out the curve that I want to mark and the place that I want to sew. I'm just going ahead to check out the measurement of the curve, and that's 1 inches. So after making the curve, the next thing to do is to sew the back crotch measurement. So like always, I always pin down. It's safer to pin down than to make mistakes and have to loosen. So always pin down your project before you sew. So after pinning down, I will just go ahead to sew like this by 1/2 inch. So after I went ahead to fix my pocket, I'll post another video on how I cut out this pocket because of the lengthy video. So now I'll just go ahead to attach the front and the back piece together, and I'll be sewing by 1 inches on both sides. I'm sewing by 1 inches on both sides. So after sewing, this is what it looks like. The jean trouser is already coming together. It's already looking nice and I'm proud of myself. So now you open your zipper and measure the waist, including the inner flap. Go ahead to measure round. So after measuring it round, the next thing I want to do is to attach my belt holder. So I'll be using about 4 inches. The actual measurement for the belt holder is 3 inches, but we need extra like 1/2 inch on both ends to sew. So I'll be cutting 4 inches in total for each of the flap, and I'll be using a total number of 5 belt holder. Some people use 6, some people use 6, 2 at the front, 2 by the side, and 2 at the back. But I use 2 at the front, that's the pocket side, and 3 at the back, 1 in the very middle of the trouser at the back, and then 2 at the side, like a dart, like where you usually fix your darts, just like I did at the front. So I'll go ahead to sew this down. And now I've sewn it down and I've attached my waistband. I will also post a very detailed video on how to make a jean waistband. So I'll post a very detailed video on how to make that. So after doing that, this is what the belt holder looks like. But before I finalize the belt holder, I'll go ahead to sew down the lower part of my waistband. I'll go ahead to do that, and then I'll attach my belt, my button, and also my buttonhole. I'll be using my industrial machine for my buttonhole, so I'll probably post a video of how I made the buttonhole. So this is what it's going to look like. The buttonhole is going to be at the front and the button will be at the back, so the button can go in through the back and appear at the front. So after sewing down the waistband and putting my button and also creating a buttonhole, this is what it looks like. I've created the buttonhole and I've attached the button. This is what it looks like. And now it's time to finally attach the belt holder. We've attached the first lower part. Now it's time to attach the upper side to close it up. So I will just go ahead to trim any excesses that I can find, and now this is how you attach your belt holder. So just fold it in like that and top stitch. So we'll just go ahead to top stitch like that. For every belt holder, go ahead to top stitch like that, and that's all. So after doing that, I'll go ahead to fold the hem of my trouser, and trouser is ready. This is it after ironing, and this is what it looks like. It's very beautiful, very detailed, very detailed jean trouser. I love it very much. I'll be creating more jean trouser. I don't think I'll go and buy jean trouser at a boutique anymore. And this is what the front piece looks like on me, and this is what the back looks like on me. Let me know in the comment section if you find this helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Bye.